And now, Anna Everything proudly presents Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there lived a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 5 ugly, mean stepsisters named Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi. Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi made Cinderella do all the chores. Sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi all together. One day, the king of Sevenville's messengers said, Hear ye, the king of Sevenville is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Septupling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her stepsisters are Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi argue over who will marry Prince Septupling later. Cinderella is so sad that she can't go to the ball and marry Prince Septupling, while her fairy godmother asks her what's wrong by saying, Why are you crying, Cinderella? Cinderella responds, I have lots of chores to be done. I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Septupling. Cinderella's fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic. So she waves her magic wand. Because of that, Cinderella's chores are all done. But Cinderella's godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin. Luckily, Cinderella has 7 pumpkins. Cinderella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 7 pumpkins into a handsome coach drawn by 14 strong horses. And then Cinderella's wear clothes into a gown and crown. Cinderella said, I've never seen such a septuple-tastic gown. And get a lot of my glass slippers, Cinderella's fairy godmother said. Have fun, Cinderella, but I would warn you. Return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everyone will change back to the way it was before. Cinderella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Septupling said, Who should marry me? Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi say all together, He's walking towards me. But he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards Cinderella. Cinderella and Prince Septupling dance happily together. But later, Cinderella realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost one of her glass slippers. Prince Septupling was so worried that he might never see Cinderella again. So she traveled around Severnville to find her and brought the glass slipper with him. He knocked on the door of the home where Cinderella, Sophia, Ella, Veronica, Esme, and Naomi lived. But instead of Cinderella, Prince Septupling finds her 5 ugly, mean stepsisters. He then said, Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper one by one? Sophia first, but her foot is too big. The rest is the same, but none of their feet fit. Suddenly, Prince Septupling notices Cinderella's sweet slipping. The glass slipper fits! Cinderella and Prince Septupling now live happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrew's Doers, and this is the 2835th episode of Andrew Does Everything. Hang on. And now I've been debating on making the Cinderella sequels. I could do that. So, if you want to see Cinderella 2 7 Dreams Come True, maybe I can do it a 7-episode tradition. And all of you, I hope you enjoyed this parody fairy tale about rags to riches. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And, oh, look at the time. And well, Andrew's Doers, if we time this video just right, and a few minutes later, wait for it. And if we can time this video just right, maybe I could still do it a 7-episode tradition, by the way. And then this video is 7 minutes. 7 minutes. And take care, Andrew's Doers. Bye. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and buy our merchandise too. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents Cinderella. It is based on the story of Cinderella with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Cinderella. Cinderella had 8 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, Ramona, Tanya, twins, Elena and Ella, and Nina. Fiona, or Ophelia, Ursula, Ramona, Tanya, Ella, Elena, and Nina made Cinderella do all the chores, sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, Ramona, Tanya, Elena, Ella, and Nina all together. One day, the king of Quadra, the Compilingham's messengers rise and says, Hear ye, the king of Quadra, the Compilingham is going to throw a ball, and whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince Quadra the Coupling. But Cinderella is not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters are. He's going to marry me, said Fiona. Ophelia said, No way, Fiona, he's going to marry me. Ursula said, Both of you are wrong, he's going to marry me. Ramona said, All 3 of you are wrong, he's going to marry me. The rest said, All 4 of you are wrong, he's going to marry me. Later, Cinderella is so sad doing chores that she can't go to the ball and marry Prince Quadra the Coupling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and asks Cinderella what's wrong by saying, Why are you crying, Cinderella? In which Cinderella responds, I have lots of chores to be done, but I can't go to the ball and marry Prince Quadra the Coupling. Cinerella's fairy godmother said, I can help with a bit of magic, and waves her magic wand. Because of that, Cinerella's chores are all done. But her fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, Cinderella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some ice. Luckily, Cinderella was 14 pumpkins and 28 mice. 14-year-old's fairy godmother waved her magic wand again to turn the 14 pumpkins into a handsome coach, the 28 mice into horses for the coach to drive, and 14-year-old's ripped clothes into a gown and crown. 14-year-old said, "I've never seen such a fantastic gown. Get a load of my glass slippers," and hopped onto the coach. Her fairy godmother said, "Have fun, 14-year-old, but I would warn you, return home before midnight, or the spell will be broken, and everything will change back to the way it was before," and gave her a clock to tell her what time it is. 14-year-old accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Quarter the coupling was wondering who he should marry. Fiona, Ophelia, Ursula, Ramona, Antonia, Elena, Ella, and Nina say, "He's walking towards me," all together, but he's not walking towards any of them. He's walking towards 14-year-old. 14-year-old and Prince Quarter the coupling dance happily together. But when 14-year-old checks her clock, it's almost midnight! So she scurried out of the ball, and she was running so fast that she lost both of her glass slippers. Prince Quarter the coupling was so worried that he might never see 14-year-old again. So he traveled all around Quarter the coupling had to find her and brought the 2 glass slippers with him. By the time he arrives, he knocks on the door of the home with 14-year-old and her 8 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters. But instead of 14-year-old, he finds her 8 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters. Prince Quarter the coupling then said, "Ladies, I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on these glass slippers?" Fiona is first, but her feet are too big. Ophelia is next, but her feet are too small. The rest did the same thing, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, Prince Quarter the coupling notices 14-year-old singing, "The glass slippers fit!" 14-year-old gets so excited because she's happy to have Prince Quarter the coupling back. And then Prince Quarter the coupling and 14-year-old lived happily ever after. The end. I hope this was a fun story, Andrew Stewards. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share on Andrew Does Everything. And buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. Take care. Bye. And now, Andrew Does Everything proudly presents 42-Arella. It is based on the story of Cinderella, with a bit of a twist. Let's tell you the story, shall we? Once upon a time, there was a young adult girl named 42-Arella. 42-Arella had 8 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters named Farah, Olivia, Ramona, Tanya, Yvonne, Tasha, Winona, and Una. All 8 of them constantly made fun of 42-Arella and made her do all the chores. 42, wench, sweep the floors, wash the dishes, do it all, said the ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters all together. One day, the king of 42 Birds' messenger arrives and says, "Hear ye, hear ye! The king of 42 Birds is going to throw a ball and with lots of food at 9 o'clock. And 11 o'clock is dance time. And whoever has the most beautiful gown and crown shall marry his son, Prince to a quadrigen tupling. Can I come?" asked 42-Arella, but she's not welcome. Her ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters Farah to Una are. "He's going to marry me," said Farah, the oldest stepsister. "No way, Farah." "Wrong, he's going to marry me," said Olivia. Both of you are wrong. He's going to marry me, said Ramona. The rest say, all three of you are wrong. He's going to marry me. Later, 42-Arella is so sad, upset, and distraught about not going to the ball and marrying Prince Dua Quadrigentopling. Suddenly, her fairy godmother arrives and comforts her. There now, 42-Rella. I can help with a bit of magic. Nobody will know it's you. And so, she waves her magic wand. And because of that, all 42-Rella's chores are all done, and her best party dress is fixed and made bigger and better. 42-Rella says, I've never seen such a duo quadrigentople-tastic gown! And get a load of my glass slippers. Fairy godmother, how can I ever thank you enough? But 42-Rella's fairy godmother is not done yet. She said, 42-Rella, go fetch me a pumpkin and some mice. Luckily, 42-Rella has 42 pumpkins and 84 mice. 42-Rella's fairy godmother waves her magic wand again to turn the 42 pumpkins into a handsome coach and the 84 mice into horses. 42-Rella climbs into the coach. Her fairy godmother says, have fun, 42-Rella, but I will warn you, return home before midnight or the spell will be broken and everything will change back to normal. And so, 42-Rella accepted the warning. Meanwhile, at the ball, Prince Dua Quadrigentopling was wondering who he should marry. Son, wondering who to marry, son? Asks the king of 42-Burg, in which Prince Dua Quadrigentopling says, yes, father, I don't know who. Suddenly, 42-Rella arrives at the ball just in time. Farah, Olivia, Ramona, Tanya, Yvonne, Tasha, Winona, and Una say all together, he's walking towards me! But he's not walking towards any of them. Prince Dua Quadrigentopling is walking towards 42-Rella. He then asks, may I please have this dance? I would be delighted, said 42-Rella. Prince Dua Quadrigentopling and 42-Rella dance happily together. But later, 42-Rella realized it's almost midnight, so she scurried out of the ball. And she was running so fast that she lost both her glass slippers. Prince Dua Quadrigentopling was so worried that he might never see 42-Rella again. The king of 42-Burgs comforted him by saying, there now, son. I think we'll be able to find 42-Rella, he said. And so, they began their journey all around the neighborhood to find her and brought the 2 glass slippers she lost with them. By the time they arrive, they knock on the door of the house where 42-Rella and her 8 ugly, mean, wicked stepsisters, Tina to Ona, Farah to Una live. But instead of 42-Rella, they find Farah to Una. They then say, Prince Dua Quadrigentopling, ladies, my father and I have a favor to ask. Can any of you try on this glass slipper? Slippers? Farah is first, but her feet are too big. Olivia is next, but her feet are too small. Nonsense! They fit! She said. The rest did the same, but none of their feet are the right size. Suddenly, the king of 42-Burg and Prince Dua Quadrigentopling noticed 42-Rella singing. Prince Dua Quadrigentopling and your majesty is going to throw. Is that you guys? The king of 42-Burg exclaims, my dear daughter-in-law, 42-Rella, we found you! And the glass slippers fit. And now, 42-Rella, Prince Quadrigentopling, and the king of 42-Burg lived happily ever after. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story, Andrew's Doers. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and Andrew Does Everything, and buy our merchandise at AndrewDoesEverything.com. Take care. Bye.